Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Becoming a Hero in Company of Heroes 2. My name is ATR, and we're going to be playing some 1v1 multiplayer action right now. Except, that we're not really. So, I said that we were going to be playing, I believe, 2 more games in the old format where I would play and talk at the same time. But that, I guess, was a flat out lie, because I am not doing that. I am now recording voiceover afterwards. So hopefully this works out. I have some nice ideas for this one, but I am actually kind of excited. So anyways, we're going up against TheLastPro. I'm going to be playing the US, obviously. And I actually didn't notice when I was loading up, and I didn't actually know what he was. Stupid me. I mean, I was used to, it always being austere, but obviously with the new Western Front expansion, well, now, well, there's Silver Commandos too, so I don't know exactly which one we're up against. But regardless of that, I am going to be going for the Airborne, as we've already selected the Airborne Doctrine, and following the guide over at CoH2.org by Corporal Shepard, which is to go for 3 riflemen. Then you basically you try to rush towards the Stewart light tank. So, anyways, so yeah, right now I'm kind of focusing on getting those riflemen out ASAP. Usually I get a little bit distracted and I don't get them out as soon as possible. I don't really know about the capping orders. Like right there at this point, I noticed that on the left-hand side, the munitions point was being captured by the enemy. So I figured, okay, well, I'll send my echelon troops up to the north to cap, and I'll send the riflemen a little bit closer together to be able to engage if I run into any enemies. So I decide to go into the center. I say, okay, well, he's capturing over there. I think I'm going to ignore him for the meantime. I'm going to go try and take the center unless he starts capturing my points, and exactly at that point he does that. So I'm like, okay, well, I got my 3 riflemen out, so I can converge all of them in that direction and probably win a fight. I'm still not very used to how the riflemen are supposed to function. So there, I try to close the distance on the Pios, and then I remember, wait, the Pios have SMG, so they should be able to win a fight on close range, right? So he decides to back off, so I send my riflemen in, get them into some light cover there by that fence. I need to work on the positioning there so that I can have them in light cover and cap at the same time, which I am not doing with the riflemen behind that. So I push forward. I notice that there's no cover to cap at the same time, and he has a grenadier squad out. And I believe, don't quote me on that, but at least in my understanding, riflemen would actually lose out on a long-range fight with Grens, at least by themselves. If they're, numerous, well, obviously they would win. So I decided to disengage. I recaptured the point just to connect my territories, even though I didn't really need it. And I sent everything into the center. I'm not going to be engaging just one squad. And then I go for the ambulance. That is pretty much, just following the guide there. The riflemen down south do get engaged by the Grens and more Pios, so I pop them over the fence to try to delay while I send the riflemen and now the rear echelon that have reconnected with the riflemen to engage over here. However, I lose track of my rifleman down south, and when I look back at it, he's down to 1 man. I try to retreat, but I know it's too late, and yeah, he gets executed right there. So a very early loss for me, which is unfortunate. And I don't know if I should replace the rifleman at this point. I mean, the guide says not, well, it doesn't actually say not to. It says that eventually you'll lose riflemen, because you shouldn't be losing them at this point. You'll lose them and replace them with paratroopers, which I did, and also lost a lot of. But yeah, I don't know if at this point I should get another rifleman squad. But, well, I'm going to focus the troops that I have. I have my riflemen over there. They're going down south to engage the Gren squad. I'm trying to take it out, but the Gren squad is not going to fall there. So I managed to push them out, and they're fine. I do have my rear echelon troops there around to support, and then I notice that he has a sniper. The riflemen push forward, but they're not going to catch it. I do have my ambulance nearby pushing back, and I noticed that I sent my riflemen a little bit too freely there just to fight those Grens, so I sent the rear echelon troops to barrage them and get them suppressed. And there they go. So the Grenadiers are forced to retreat. They are down to 1 man. Do I actually get a pickup here? I don't think I do. Very nearly. I do kill one more right there, and that one guy runs off, but another Grand Squad comes into the mix and starts killing my rifleman, and yeah, that squad makes it out, which is unfortunate for me. I would have liked to pick up a kill on one of his squads to even out the odds. But now that I have one command point, I do call in the Pathfinders. I still need to work on using my Pathfinders. Also, I should just lay down the beacons more freely so that it facilitates the zone, because I am thinking right now of focusing on this left-hand side since I have my my ambulance and I can reinforce on the fly. So instead of just engaging, retreating, I want to try and keep my forces alive. But I need to capture the territory so that the ambulance can work out. So right now the ambulance will be able to reinforce that squad, even though I do send it out to cap and it won't be in range to reinforce. But yeah, I'm just keeping my troops around here. I do have a lot of manpower, but I don't have enough fuel, I think, to get the captain. I think I need 90, pretty sure. I'm also going to be losing track of my fuel, so it's going to take me a while to get that captain out, and I'm also reinforcing, so yeah, so this guy moves up, since I noticed that he can't get the riflemen reinforced. And on the left-hand side, the engagement just continues to go on. My riflemen are going to be taking some beatings here to the sniper. Yeah, the sniper makes itself known, and the riflemen start getting shot. I send out my my Pathfinders to try to see if they have enough damage with their rifles there. To get the sniper, but no, they just end up getting shot at by those two Grand Squads, so I back them off. I do keep my riflemen on the field. I don't want to retreat, so I have my rear echelon troops right there to try and hold the line, and I should be sending the ambulance. Yeah, I select the ambulance and send it over in that direction so that I can reinforce, and that squad in the center got reinforced. Now, I believe I did select, yeah, I did start building the captain. I don't like that the captain doesn't show up in the unit building, but I mean, I know it's essentially considered like a building, that's why it doesn't, but kind of sucks because, well, it is a unit, and anyways. So at this point, I'm looking back at the guide and selecting an AT gun, because it says that you probably should, and I didn't have, you know, the fuel right now for the steward anyways, and I also don't have the command points to get paratroopers, so I figured, yeah, might as well get the, not the AT gun, the 50 cal machine gun. It's either the 50 cal machine gun or the captain. The captain came out first, now the 50 cal machine gun, because I didn't have the points, and I used my rear echelon troops to get it. I should also be reinforcing them, and I build an AT gun. The AT gun is something that you build after you get your captain, so there you go. Because I don't have nearly enough fuel to get that, so right now I'm liking my expenditures there. I do have one less rifleman squad than I should, and I am starting to lose a lot of territory. He has pretty much more than half the map capped, essentially. And he has triple cap against me in the victory points, but I do push a little bit forward, get that that grenadier squad off, and the medic and the ambulance pushes up a little bit. I do have it behind that hay bale to cover it, and the MGI should be moving it up now to support the fight. The rifleman squads do get a little bit beaten up there by the sniper and the Grens, so I just pull them back a little bit and reinforce on the fly, which again is one of the very strong points that the US have early on. My rear echelon troop moves a little bit too far forward without getting reinforced, so I pull them back. The 50 cal machine gun instantly pins that Grand Squad, and the Grand Squad is forced to retreat, so I have a very nice, strong position here, and now with all the squads reinforced, I am able to push forward, and I get my AT gun out there so that it can cover the rear. Unfortunately, though, since I did lose my rifleman squad, which is what I would consider using to cap the rest of the map, I'm not sure if that's the correct way of doing it, but that's at least what I would think. You know, have most of my forces together so that I can push strongly and reinforce on the field with my ambulance, and just send the rifleman squad through the outskirts and try and recapture territory while the main engagement is going on the other side of the map. But since I lost one squad early on, I don't have that capability, so I'm starting to lose a lot of the map. I also push forward there with those riflemen and get a little bit beaten up, and I noticed that on the right-hand side, those Pios were trying to decap that point and cut me off, but I did manage to force them off with the captain. Now, if you're wondering why I'm not, looking at other stuff, remember, this is first-person view from when I was playing. This is what I was looking at and doing when I was playing. So, yeah, I mean, that's why. Let me get this over here just in case. So right now I remember, oh yeah, the ambulance just doesn't, not only does it reinforce, it's an ambulance and it heals up. So I pop my healing there and it starts taking effect on those troops. And the cool thing about the Pathfinders is they have a lot of sight range, so I know exactly where they are, and so I can see there that his troops are coming in my direction. He also has a sniper, 3 Grand Squats. What I didn't like here, and, well, not that I didn't like, but I noticed, like, an issue is I don't really have an easy way of getting rid of a sniper, at least not early on. The Steward light tank is coming out now, and with that one you can potentially get the kill, although the Grens can easily Faust it and make it difficult. But I don't have, I mean, unless he makes a mistake with the sniper, it's kind of difficult for me to get at it. I mean, he's not going to push me off the field with it because I can reinforce on the fly, but that is also a lot of manpower that's going to bleed. I finally sent my rear echelon troops back there to cap that point that I never captured in the early game, but there we go. And I do end up sending my captain up to the north, which in retrospect is a mistake because I do need that AT capabilities nearby. I do have an AT gun, and that's why I send them out. Just to capture the enemy fuel, essentially, to deny them that. But yeah, I mean that's essentially what my other rifleman squad would have been doing if I hadn't lost it so early on. So I push forward, get shot up there with the Pathfinders, pull back. He does manage to decap that point because I left it unguarded, which is a stupid move by me, but, well, that happens. So I send my Pathfinders and my riflemen. I want to keep calling the riflemen conscripts because I'm so used to the Soviets, but, yeah, well, there it goes. So, while that's going on, I look at my captain up north and tell him to recapture some territory, move down south, and look at that, and the Steward light tank is now on the field. It kills that, and it says that we lost the gun crew. I got my 50 cal machine gun just mortared, which is unfortunate. And then the Steward comes into play. It pushes up, gets some shots off on that. But I noticed that the Steward is actually very vulnerable to mortars. You can see there the amount of damage that the mortar does to that light tank. And the German mortar is surprisingly accurate against the tank, which is not something I expected. So, I mean, like right now I'm going to lose track of it. And you can see there up in the top right that the Steward is taking a lot of damage. So I was very surprised that happened. So I'm just looking at all my troops, sending them to cap, making sure that everything else gets capped, and I notice, oh shit, my Steward actually took a lot of damage. So I decide, you know what, I'm actually just going to pop out and repair it real quick if I can, and then send it back out. It is risky because I don't have a line of sight at the front. My Pathfinders are a little bit further back, so I'm reinforcing them now so that they can get out there and give me line of sight. And remember, a nice thing, and I'm going to do it later on, is that you can hold fire with your Pathfinders and just put them in some cover, and they're going to be cloaked and give you a lot of forward view. I use it more later on because of the howitzer tank. I forget what it's called. But yeah, I mean, that gives it a nice line of sight and ability to just bombard your enemy. So the point gets capped. The Steward is back online, so I send it forward just to scout because I don't have my Pathfinders out there. Doesn't spot anything, and I move all the way up to the north. I see that something is getting capped over there. And then I see the enemy troops just moving out, so the Steward light tank is going to get some shots in there. I push forward. I notice the sniper, but I also notice the Grens are moving in my direction. So I back off and just shoot at range. I don't want to lose them out, so I'm going to send out my troops, my Pathfinders out there to get sight range and capture territory, and then send everything else out to capture the rest of the map. The mortar squad is out in the open and trying to get some shots off on my Steward. Managed to push it away, and then I'm just sending the Steward over to the top right since I noticed that something was capturing that fuel. I sent my captain out there to assist there, but well, the captain gets a little bit beaten up there by the Grens on the close distance. Does have 2 bazookas, so not a lot of anti-infantry capability. The Steward moves in and starts getting some damage in. So I send my captain out, but the captain gets killed. So I just end up with the 2 guys that have bazookas. So I say, screw it. I'm just going to throw a volley and then just retreat. But he retreats his Grenadier squad 1 second before I hit retreat. So I was like, oh, well, never mind. I'm just going to go ahead and capture the point and then retreat. Not sure if I actually do retreat. Spoiler, I do lose my captain at some point, stupidly. But I'm not sure if that's when I lose him. But Well, anyways, so right now he is pretty much run off the map. The Steward light tank did have the effect that we wanted to push his infantry off because he didn't have any way of dealing with it. I probably should move up my point, the AT gun, and move it up a little bit further. The paratroopers are now on the field, and I'm getting them that LMG. I'm very bad at handling my paratroopers, which is unfortunate, but well, we'll see what happens. So I notice enemies, and I try to cloak, but they don't cloak in time. Actually, no, they do. Oh, that might have been a different game or in a different point. Yeah, because I remember at some point I'm trying to cloak, but they don't cloak in time, and the enemy just spots them and shoots at them. So the I put my airborne squad right there because I was hoping they would get the LMG in time and be able to hold off the infantry approach, but they don't. They end up taking a lot of damage. I do move up the 50 cal machine gun to stop the approach, and it starts opening up on the Grens, and the Grens are instantly suppressed and forced off of the field. So there they go. 50 cal machine gun, very strong, very good. The Steward is also on the right-hand side, as you can notice there, and you know, getting some extra fire in there. You can see on the mini-map that the mortar is back on the field. It's going to be trying to hit my Steward, and the Pathfinders are nowhere there. So I move the Steward. It does take a little bit of damage there by the mortar. I just move it out, send my other rifleman squad to continue to cap. And at this point, I think I'm trying to get my major, but I don't have enough fuel just yet, so it's going to take a while. So the Steward moves back down to the south. The paratroopers move up to capture the point, and the sniper is out there on the field. So I try to snipe the sniper there with the Steward. The sniper retreats, and I am not able to really get much done. The Steward pushes forward, as I notice. Well, he's retreating, so I may as well try and go and hunt down whatever I can. But not sure if he was baiting me, which he may have, and I took the bait really quickly. But right now I'm like utilizing this time, and okay, well, I see his troops. I push forward, I get Fausted. That's a stupid move by me. I should have, you know, stayed at bay and make sure that I was checking on my Steward. I tell him to reverse all the way back here so that he stays alive and just kites and does damage. Since he is snared, he does get Fausted once again. The health is really low. I put the Pathfinders there, and I tell them to target the Grand Squad so that they actually get shot. And they do start taking some damage and fire, so the Grand Squad retreats. So I'm thinking, okay, well, that worked out. The Steward should be fine, and out comes the Flak Panther, and I'm like, oh shit. I do have an AT gun on the field, and the AT gun is back here, but that is a very low health Steward. Thankfully for me, the Flak Panther is focusing on something else. He decides to attack the paratroopers. AT gun is getting some damage in there, but it does end up dying the Steward. And I remember, oh yeah, the US AT guns have armor piercing rounds, so I popped those not before the last hit, and he moves it behind my my arc of fire, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm screwed. So I decide to send my ambulance out, hoping that he doesn't target it, and he does seem to be trying to target my AT gun. AT gun gets turned around. He moves the Flak Panther out of the arc of fire, but luckily for me, if you'll notice right there, that was a homing shot. Let me try and back it off right there. No, a little bit more. There. No. Right there. Can I do one more? No, there it dies. Sorry. No. Okay, sorry about that. There it goes. Okay, that's the point. Okay, so look at that. He's very low in health. He's getting a lot of damage in there. I don't think it's taking damage from anything. The AT gun sets up. You can see the arc right there. It's right at the edge. The AT gun is unable to shoot. He moves out of the arc, and look at the shot. Boom! It shoots backwards and kills the Flak Panther. So I got really lucky there. I was like, oh my god. So, okay, that's fine. I did send my captain in that direction, like, as soon as I could, but I think he was back at base since he had retreated. So it was going to take a while for that. Probably would have been able to kill the Flak Panther anyways, but I got really lucky there. So at that time, I'm trying to to reinforce the AT gun, but it gets rifle-nated there by those Grens. The Grens do get stopped by the Echelon troops with their volley, but it still kills the AT gun, which is, man. It did have veterancy too, so I would have hoped that I could have kept that. But unfortunate for me, it dies. I can still, you know, recover it because it's really near me. I did lose my 50 cal machine gun up north, up here. And I don't want to capture it with my captain, so I I send my rear echelon troops back. My paratroopers have taken a beating to the mortar, and I just noticed that. I lose track of things very quickly. And it moves back to reinforce. Another thing that I should be doing with the Pathfinders is laying down beacons nearby, at least where I'm going to be having my troops. They're free and they don't cost anything, and you can lay 3 at a time. And those would allow you to actually reinforce your paratroopers without the need for an ambulance. So that's something that I need to keep in mind. And I do remember at this point. So my major now comes out. I decide to move him around there, and I'm thinking, well, I could put him over on the left-hand side where my troops are right now, or put him a little bit more central. So I decided a little bit more central behind that hedge, you know, still allow my troops to retreat, but not too far away. So I'm like, okay, yeah, that should probably work. So I also think, well, then I should probably just move my ambulance. I'll let my troops over here reinforce first, and then I'll move the ambulance. And then now I'm getting myself that howitzer. I decide that why did I call that in? I think I just had too much manpower that I wasn't utilizing, so I figured, I should probably call another paratrooper squad, because I don't have enough fuel to get the tank destroyer yet. There we go. So rifleman squad in the center gets battered. The captain also gets battered and forced away. But they're reinforcing right there to the point, so I send my ambulance in that direction. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so I figured, like, yeah, I should have the ambulance now next to the captain so that I can reinforce on the fly. Even though I could reinforce a little bit further out because, you know, the ambulance can move. It's, you know, it's better to just have it at the retreat point. So now with my howitzer on the field, I figured, okay, well, I should move my Pathfinders around and try to spot, have them in cloak. And there's, like, where I notice, okay, well, there's troops all over the place. My howitzer needs to move close by so that it can support. My paratrooper squad up in the north is just getting beaten down, and I let it get beat down to 2 men, forcing the retreat. There it goes. The Pathfinders do get cloaked. I tell them, you know, build a beacon somewhere around here, so if I have my paratroopers around here, they can reinforce in front. AT gun still a little bit covering the left-hand side, and the other paratrooper squad is around there. So the howitzer is now on the field, and it starts doing that. I notice, okay, well, let's go ahead and pop some heals to reinforce our squads. And get that tank destroyer out. I was thinking of getting another howitzer because, you know, that would be very strong as far as anti-infantry goes, but I was a little bit wary of getting, you know, attacked by a, you know, a Panzer IV at least. I mean, he had already shown tier 3, you know, with the Flak Panzer, so he can very easily get tanks, so I don't know exactly what his move is at this point. But I'm feeling okay. I have a lot of troops. I'm getting a tank. The tank does cost, does take quite a bit. I do have to remember that the captain has... Actually, no, that's not the captain. That's the lieutenant, right? Wait, is it the captain? I think it is the captain. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the captain has the ability to make the building of vehicles faster. So I have to remember to do that. I mean, I could do it to the steward so that it comes out faster, but at the very least I should be doing it to these other tanks because they take a long time to build. So I should remember to do that. I'll try it out probably next game if I remember. So I see here a nice Gren squad just sitting there. Takes a nade to the face, also getting howitzered. So I move up my LMG equipped paratroopers. I try to finish off the squad, but it doesn't go down. So I'm like, well, that sucks. But at least, well, we did a lot of damage and forced them away. Captain in the center. We see a lot of troops moving over on the right-hand side. A lot of Gren squads and artillery field officer retreating. And I see, well, that's a nice clump of Grens. Let's get a nade right in there. Thankfully for me, these troops decide to move in there, and they clump up, and boom, look at that. Down to 2 each. And I decide to focus fire the first one, that's Veteran C3. And I get the kill on that one. I also focus on the other one, but I don't think it dies. No, very low in health, but makes it out of there. But I'm happy with that one. A lot of damage there, and losing veterancy. And the Howie still just hitting everything that it can over on the sides. Doing a lot of damage. That tank is just amazing. I kind of expected to get nerfed in a way, but I don't know. Now, since the Pathfinders are able to see a lot, I get them over on the left-hand side, if you notice, just to have complete sight of the left-hand side if anything approaches, and start moving some of my troops over to the right. They are reinforced, they're, back online, so that will help out. So another squad gets eliminated there as it moves. I see that the mortar is over on the left-hand side. Like, okay. The tank, I decide to move it over on this left-hand side to cover. And I think around here, I decide to build another Howie. Yeah, because I don't think I have much else that I can do. I reinforce what I can. And no, I guess it takes me a while to notice that I can do that, but yeah, there we go. Now I notice, and I said, like, okay, well, now that I have the tank destroyer out, just as a safety net, I can get another howitzer out, and it'll be fine. I do notice that there's a lot of troops coming in that way because of the Pathfinders, and I'm hoping that they don't spot them, but spoilers, they do, because they're moving like right there in a line, so they run straight into the Pathfinders, and the Pathfinders start taking a lot of damage. I was trying to move my 50 cal machine gun, set it up in time to stop them. The Pathfinders are forced to retreat. They are down to 2 men. Get a little bit stuck there, but they make it out. I do notice, obviously, that there's an AT gun on the left-hand side, so I back off my tank destroyer to make sure that nothing happens. The 50 cal machine gun is stopping the troops as they move, and the howitzers are over on the left-hand side, just bombarding that side, so I'm having a lot of luck there. There's a sniper over here on the left-hand side. It's shooting my paratroop squad. I retreated, luckily in time. I didn't notice earlier, but I did notice where the sniper was. The sniper continues to shoot at my approaching rifleman, and I decide to just rush him. He is a little bit distracted on the left-hand side. So my rifleman just get right on top of that sniper. The sniper moves him down to 2, but right on top of the sniper, the riflemen end up killing it, and then I tell them to finish it off. I believe the sniper is what killed my captain. I didn't notice. I can actually go back in time and check, but we'll let it finish, and then we'll go back and check when it died. So the howitzer is now online, the second one, so I can start bombarding. But at that point, my enemy decides to surrender, and we get the win. The loud-ass message, which I'll probably try and tone down here because it's just too loud. And yeah, we got ourselves a nice win. So before we go, let me go back in time and see when that captain died. It's alive, it's dying, and it's dead. Okay, so there's that 5, 2. One. I have no idea where the captain is here. Oh, he was in the center at the victory point. Yeah, the victory point in the center was getting shot at there by those Grens. They get hit right now. Those are the Grens that actually killed the captain. Okay. Well, yeah, I didn't notice him during the game. I lost track of it and he died. But yeah, that's about it. So yeah, let's go ahead and move it up to the end once again. Play that loud message, and that's gonna be it. So let me know what you guys think about doing the post commentary. I mean, obviously, I'm able to commentate a lot more than I am capable of doing while the game is going on. But let me know if you like it. If you like it, I have a couple extra ideas that I think that I can do. It does take a lot more work, but I think it may be worth it. So let me know what you guys think. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.